One of
Yeah.
the hardest things about what you do
Mhm.
is that people who don't show their face and don't say their name try to destroy your name and your face when you go somewhere. Say, like, when you were talking about, the types of things that people go through, before you even let me up, I saw somebody in your comment section, RAK90 said, "I watched Tommy on Rumble last night. He said in his live that the legal age of consent should be 13 years old." Literally
How we
lying.
starting. This how we start.
Literally lying. And I gotta say to you, one of
Yeah.
the hardest things about what you do
Mhm.
is that people who don't show their face
Yeah.
and don't say their name try to destroy your name and your face when you go somewhere. Think
Mm.
about it. I have children, I have
Mhm.
family members, and you have people going around saying the most disturbing things about you.
Yeah.
Because if this person said I said this, they should have challenged me on my show last night. Because
Mhm.
I leave my link all the time. But
Yeah.
instead, you have so many people. I had to take my daughter off the internet
Mm.
because people were going in my daughter's comment section asking her how my peen tastes.
Wow. Wow.
People
Wow.
stalk my kid to where I have to play the shell game with where my kid is.
Mhm.
Somebody showed up at my mother's church just to make a video.
Wow. Wow.
This is crazy
Mhm.
that these are black people who claim white people are the worst people in the world. But it is black folks saying that they disagree with you, which is
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that. This is we live in America, land of free speech. But how is it that you disagree with me so
Mhm.
you don't argue the points, you try to
Mhm.
smear my name?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, and what's crazy is my literal first question was kinda wanting to ask you about, like, your journey going through this process of being, in the social light, like, putting your name, your image, your opinions out there. Obviously, not everybody's a fan, and you've gotten deplatformed and canceled and all this other stuff, so, like, beyond that horrifically stupid, crazy story, like, what else have you kinda gone through, both good and bad, with, like, putting yourself out there?
Girl I dated, they found out what school she was in college.
Mm.
They found out where she got her breast done. They went on her college page saying she was a prostitute.
Mm.
Um, they went and put out I was doing my show last night and somebody was putting my mother's cell phone number in the comment section.
Jeez. Jeez.
They took my grandmother, who at the time was 98 years old. They put her address on the internet and they said, go to this place, everything in the house is free. And my grandmother was on her last days. She ended up passing away in
Mhm.
2017. But they came to her house all over in Gwinnett trying to get free stuff because the internet said it was free stuff.
Yeah.
You got someone in the comment section that says name Soul to Soul who says Tommy is a crybaby.
Mhm.
But I want you to think about it this way. My videos make you upset. How am I the crybaby when you know who I am and you decide to stalk me? Because
Mhm.
all I do is talk about the news. All I do is talk about what I actually see. So if I'm the crybaby, you're the one stalking me. And that is the craziest thing about our people. So when you ask what types of things I've been through,
Mhm.
being stalked by people because they don't like your opinion, and then they
Mhm.
do the most diabolical things to you. And when you say something back, you cry.
Mm.
These are the same people who run around hollering, hands up, don't shoot. These
Wow.
are the same people who thought that, well, what happened to George Floyd happened to all black folks. These are the
Mhm.
same people that are talking about some slavery happened to us, but slavery never happened to them.
Yeah.
But the things they do to you when you
Mhm.
say just what they're doing, you're crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we are supposed to be the people that's asking everybody else to understand our plight.
Mhm.
We don't understand the plight of each other. We get a kick out of trying to ruin another black person's life to the point
Mhm.
of where you will hear the women say, "You mad? Wait a minute. So you went out of your way to get me upset, and now that you've got me upset, you have a victory?"
Mm. Mm.
If you just think about it, and I'll leave it at this.
Yeah.
You and I came to have a discussion. You'd assume anybody who came here would
Mhm.
come to hear the discussion, but that's not what they were doing. They wanted to say some stupid things in the comment section and hope that I see it and hope that I respond, because they probably sitting at home right now in the living room with all their clothes off and a bottle of oil, rubbing themselves up. And if I say their name or point out their comment, they'll
Yeah.
be like, "Yes, oh, he said my name." And you got to think about it. If free speech really matters,
Mhm.
why is it that nobody challenges? And I've been doing this since 2009. Why is it nobody challenges what I say? They call me
Mm.
gay. They say I have a little peen. They say I do everything in the world. I hate myself,
Mhm.
but they never challenge what I say.
They don't say you're wrong. They don't say you're wrong. And I'm realizing that now in the short time that I've been in this space. I've been experiencing this to a small degree in my personal life, like with just talking. Every time you're probably the same where it's like when you're in social settings, people ask your opinion, and sometimes you just put it out there and then you just watch the change and like people start acting weird and people start wanting to challenge you or whatever. And that's one thing to do it in your real life. It's another thing when it's thousands and thousands of faceless people who just say the most insane insane stuff. And like you said, it's 90% of the time, it's never about your art that like an argument or coming back at like what the point you're making and why you're wrong. It's just always about why you're unqualified to have that opinion. You're a man, so you can't talk about that. You're a black man, so you can't talk about this group. And I'm like, whoa, like yo, this is crazy.
And I
This
watch some of your stuff, and I know you're supposed to be asking me questions, but I got to ask you,
what's up?
running into those things, how are you starting to feel about it? Because I know I tell everybody what I
Mhm.
thought about what I was doing versus when I actually did it was completely different. I did
Mhm.
not think it would be what it was, but once you get in that fire, you
Mhm.
start to realize how bad it is. You
Right.
are very level-headed. You ain't nothing
Mm.
like me where you just out here just call him, because I ain't shit. I will admit. I call people out their name. I'm doing a video and it piss you off.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're very measured. But I always tell
Mhm.
people, let me tell you what measured got Jesus.
Mm. Mm.
What did
Well,
measured get Martin?
yeah, I listen, I hope that's not my end.
Oh no, I'm not wishing that on you, brother. But I'm saying they claim they don't want people like me who speak the way I speak. But look what they've done to people who never spoke the way I spoke.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. Once I saw who was cheering when Kevin Samuels died,
Mm,
I never looked seriously at basing my value and ego and pride and peace on whether or not somebody's gonna talk to me or like me today. I had to once I saw how fickle people are, once I saw the last handful of elections and whenever I would say something that wasn't the narrative, I saw how people would move and respond. I got used to realizing people like you when they like what you do and what you say. But
mm,
once you do something they don't agree with or say something they don't like, they can switch up on you at any time. And I'm saying anybody can do that. So once I've gone through that a handful of times in my personal life, in hindsight, I think it prepped me for the internet. So I don't know 99% of the people out there. So it doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't keep me up at night. Now my big thing, I think the reason why I've been able to be so level-headed is um I've done very, very few call-in shows. And everybody's like, man, you gotta do the call-in
ah,
shows. You gotta do the call-in shows. And that's where I think a lot of us, you get caught off guard. You got random people coming, you don't know what they're gonna say, versus like inviting a guest or going on the panel. It's a little bit more formal. So I think that as I start trying to do more call-in shows, which we'll see how it goes. They may bring out a different side of me.
yeah, that's one of those. I'll tell you something else not to do.
Mhm.
Do not read their comments. Just don't.
I laugh. I just don't take any of it. I don't laugh. I just don't take. I don't know. Like, what is it about the comp? Because Jazz, you've heard of Jazz, right? A few
Yeah.
times.
Mhm.
Um, she's hilarious. I've talked to her outside of the podcasting thing, but Jazz, she cannot not look at the comments. She can't not look at the comments, and I'm like, that's where the crash out gonna come. what is it about the comments that like message gets to y'all?
I don't know what it is, but boy, them comments is something. You gotta just
Mhm.
you gotta really just say, you know what, I cannot pay these any attention, because if you pay them some attention,
Mhm.
ooh, it will not go your way.
Every time, like it'll catch you off, and it'll throw you off what you were planning on doing, planning on talking about, and like you in a whole nother
Yep.
lane. It's something funny enough. A lot of times when it's like crazy or challenging comments, I actually share them on the screen to make it known. Like I see it, I'm aware of it, and it doesn't really do anything to me. I don't know. I think maybe I went through so much in personal life that
So
the
it don't
internet,
bother you.
internet's like it's real, but it's not real, if that makes sense. Like what's real is what you said earlier about people trying to reach out to your family and trying to find them, and that's real to me. This stuff isn't. That doesn't mean y'all should challenge me. Because best believe, despite my calm demeanor, it's not gonna go well. I'm gonna tell you that. So I would behoove y'all to keep everything to the internet, and I'm personally fine with keeping it at that.